Hi, my name is Tiara West, along with Elizabeth Harms and Bobby Hohen, and we are doing food deserts. So, what's considered a food desert? Food deserts include low-income residents. It includes limited access to affordable and nutritious foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. About 23.5 million people live in food deserts today. Instead of grocery stores or farmer markets, these areas often have convenience stores and gas stations. The USDA Hammer classified an urban area as a food desert if it was more than 0.5 or 1 mile away from a supermarket, a grocery store, or other sources of healthy, affordable food. And rural communities were those located 10 or 20 miles away. Food deserts are likely to have higher populations, lower levels of education among residents, higher unemployment rates, higher rates of vacant homes, higher concentration of minority residents. Socioeconomic status might play a more important role in nutritional outcomes than proximity to a grocery store. Food swamps are usually associated with food deserts. Food swamps are areas with excess food, fast food places, and convenience stores. Here is a chart just showing you the numbers about food deserts. Here it says about 150 to 200 jobs can be created by a large retail grocery market, which will help those low-income residents be able to afford healthy food as well. So cities struggling the most with food deserts: Chicago, so more than 500,000 residents, mostly African American, live in food deserts, and an additional 400,000 live in neighborhoods with a preponderance of fast food restaurants and no grocery stores nearby. Los Angeles being second, in 2008, the Los Angeles City Council voted to enact a moratorium or new fast food outlets in a 32 square mile zone encompassing some of South LA's most arid food deserts, an area where about 97% of the population is either Latino, African American, or of mixed race. And then New York City being the last, an estimate of 750,000 New York City residents live in food deserts, while about 3 million people live in places where stores that sell fresh produce are few or far away. So how does food deserts impact health? Well, people living in the poorest socioeconomic status areas have 2.5 times exposure to fast food restaurants as those living in the wealthiest areas. People who cannot easily access healthy foods tend to eat less healthier than people who can. Unhealthy eating habits lead to weight gain, and that in turn leads to obesity. So common health issues from obesity include diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and high blood pressure. Unhealthy eating habits in the first few years of life can also significantly affect a child's ability to grow. Brains and bodies develop quickly during early childhood, and to do that, they need key ingredients. Not getting enough rich foods and things like iron, vitamin A, or iodine has been linked to cognitive difficulties, weaker immune systems, and stunted growth. In terms of our future generations, being obese during pregnancy can also up your chances of complications like gestational diabetes, preeclampsia, birth defects, and miscarriage. Babies born to women who don't get enough folate in the early stages of pregnancy have a higher risk of being born with potentially serious birth defects. An estimate of 15 million people in the United States have a food allergy, some more than one, many of which can be life-threatening. Not only is there a limitation of healthy products, there's an uncertainty whether or not a product is safe for a person to eat. So here is another chart of effects on health. So people living in neighborhoods with the lowest availability of healthy food, 55% of those people are less likely to have a good quality diet. People live in neighborhoods with greater healthy food availability, 45% reduced incidence of diabetes over a 5-year period. And then families moving to non-poor neighborhoods results in a significantly reduced body mass index. And then $71 billion in healthcare costs due to chronic disease could be saved with healthier eating. So how do we fix the problem? We can fix the problem by building community gardens, establishing local farmer markets, improving public transportation from food deserts to established markets, tweaking local laws and tax codes to entice supermarkets and other healthy food retailers to set up shop. There is also a $400 million investment from the government towards this initiative, which will go towards providing tax breaks for supermarkets that open in food deserts. Here are our sources from verywellhealth.com, DoSomething.org, the USDA.gov, and foodispower.org. Also, here is a map of Bloomington Normal, and it shows, this is a food desert locator, so it shows here in light blue where low income places are. See if I can move up. It seems like Bloomington has a bigger, well, they're kind of the same. So Norman and Bloomington have about the same low income residents. And then here is low access at 1 and 10 miles and 1.5 and 10 miles. So this is how many people, or the areas where they have low access to nutritious foods, which is a lot. Then here is 1 and then 20 miles, which is also a lot. And here in purple shows low vehicle access. So these are the areas where people have no cars to drive to get to these supermarkets. Okay, well that is all. Once again, this is a food desert map, and I showed you guys where low income places were, where there are low access, and also where there are low vehicle access. So it's pretty big. So once again, my name is Tiara West, along with Elizabeth Harms and Bobby Hohen, and we are doing food deserts.